Hi everyone, this is Terry from the Creative Apple blog. First of all, please excuse my voice. I have been extremely ill. I actually did a video, I guess it was Saturday night, over this, but it ended up being like 18 minutes long, and I couldn't find anywhere to upload that to my blog. Everyone said it was too large. My voice sounded a little better then, so just bear with me. And sorry you're having to look at a binder, but it is late at night and you just can't really see what I look like. So over the summer I posted just a post about how I was going to create this curriculum binder for this school year and how it was going to house pretty much everything that I needed for data teams, lesson planning, benchmarks, standards, just really everything I needed to plan and to be organized and to be ready for my meetings, and all of it into one binder. And so we just finished our first quarter, and you can see here that, I mean, it's pretty thick. There were a lot of things that I thought I was going to include in here, but I actually took out just because of the room. It's already very heavy to carry to and from school, so I want to kind of keep it pretty much where the thickness it is. And so this cover is there's a link to it on my original post, which I will post a link to, and basically it's just a black line master, and I copied it onto bright paper. So when you open it up, I like the binders that have the tiered pockets. You can see there. And this is kind of where I keep all my stuff that I need to do at home. So here I have my lesson plans that I need to finish. Some health insurance information. Content weights for our state test. Just a bunch of different things that I put there that I need to either put somewhere else or look at while I'm at home. And then here, this is pretty much my data information, and I actually need to make a tab for that. So when I make a tab for that, that will actually be gone. Excuse me. I'm trying to get this down to, I would like 5 minutes, but I don't think it's going to happen. But anywhere from 5 to 10, so hopefully I can get this posted on my blog. But first thing here, I have just like a half sheet that I've cut, and this is my daily to-do. It is pretty bad that I have to have this, but if I don't, then I don't really kind of make myself get prepared for the next day. So it's stuff like write date for tomorrow, clear board, straighten tables. And like I said, it's really sad that I have to have that, but it actually works. And I actually have one here, and I have one in my desk drawer at school. Sorry, excuse me. This is just a teacher to do. I write them on stickies, post-its, and put them under whatever heading they go to, and I just check them off as I go. I actually got this from the Clutter-Free Classroom blog, and I have a link to that below here. And I just have a bunch of different colors. You need a variety to choose from, I guess. And so here's my first tab. Now these dividers were pretty easy to make. I pretty much just copied this off, and if I had to do over again, I'd probably put it on some bright paper, but I didn't. So, and then I just used double-sided tape to kind of tape it to my divider, and then I just ran it through my personal laminator and kind of trimmed around the tabs. You can kind of see that, and just reinforce the holes once again. And so what you have is basically a customized divider for your binder. And so the title on the divider matches the tabs. And so the first one is my lesson plans, and you can see that I have a binder clip there. I clip all the old ones together, that way when I flip over, I'm at the week that is current. And so I have a Monday, Friday first, and then I have my science in the middle. This is Monday math, Friday math, science. I did have all these on different pages. It took me a while to kind of get what works for me, but this seems to be okay. Then I have a Tuesday. This is for both math classes, and then Thursday. And I also have a guided math page, and so I have one for my first class and my second class that I have the 3 small groups, and so I'll list the student names for each group and then the skills that I need to work on. And this changes whenever my groups change, which is usually every 2 weeks. Next one is my curriculum map. One thing that I included that I don't use, I really need to take out, is the monthly calendar. My principal actually gives us one at the beginning of the year, and I thought I was going to use this, but I never did because I didn't want to rewrite things. But you can, it's basically like kind of generic, and you just write in the month, the year, and then you have 5 weeks. Then you have your to-do list with check boxes and just notes. And this is actually for free in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, if you're interested. Next tab is my curriculum map. This is designed by the state, and it pretty much goes by the 9 weeks and what standards we need to complete for the 9 weeks. Behind it I have pacing guide. We don't really have that anymore since it's kind of included on our curriculum map. So this is one that I really need to take out. I'm still kind of adjusting my binder, so you will see there are some things I don't really use, and that really has nothing to do with pacing guide. Next one are my Common Core standards. First thing, these are the ones that I usually use the most. These are kid-friendly I can statements for all of my math standards. And then behind them I have the regular standards from the State Board of Education. And then I have like a little post-it divider tab. And I also teach, these are all for math because that's what the bulk of my lesson planning is. But I also teach 2 small classes of science. And so I just have my standards here for that. Here's a tab, weekly assessments, pre and post. I'm sorry about the jumping around. I haven't really started using this, although I need to. What I want to do is, I actually forgot this was in here. I know that's horrible. But what I want to do, and I'll work on it this week when I go back to work, is I want to have the pre and the post test, pre and post tests of anything that we do in class for each student. So I can kind of say, this is where they were before, this is where they were, after. And also we do a weekly assessment every week, and so I would like to have a row for each child and have, a week 1, week 2, week 3, and just have their grades for each one. So you can kind of see growth as you go, hopefully, throughout the year. So that's something I need to work on. And then this is my benchmark tab, and we just took our first benchmark, so I don't have anything here. But what I'll do is I'll have each student and their score on the benchmark, and I'll also have an analysis of what standards each student missed on that benchmark, so I can also go back to that if I need to help me plan my lessons. This is just something that came from the State Department. It's standard examples they've gathered from various places. I know the first one is Arizona, and so this is just basically step-by-step plans to help teachers plan for each standard. It's a very useful tool just to help you plan. And then we also have Unpacking the Standards. This is also from the State Department. And so it has each standard, and it tells you what that standard means, some instructional strategies to go with it, resources, how you can connect this to maybe things they're learning or things they've learned in the past, some common misconceptions, just a bunch of different things. I can also put a link to this at the bottom because it's very useful if you're interested. Then I have the grade level alignment, and so this basically tells me, okay, in grade 3, what standards did they cover? In grade 4, what standards? Were there any that they have not covered? Are there any in 4th grade that they'll be seeing for the very first time? So that's very useful. And then I have some vocabulary strategies that I use during my lesson planning because I try to really focus on vocabulary. Then I just have birthdays, parent contacts, notes, classroom records, and book issue lists, kind of for my homeroom things. But pretty much that is my curriculum binder. I'm really enjoying it. It's very useful for my lesson planning and at meetings and things. I'm the only one that has all the information right there in front of her at all times, and so it's nice just to kind of know that I have this binder that I can go to. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. If you're interested, I was thinking about doing maybe a linky party. If you have a curriculum binder that maybe you would like to share on video or either a blog post, I just love hearing and seeing other people's ideas. So if you're interested, just leave a comment and we might get that started. And I hope that maybe you learn some things that you can use in your own classroom. Thanks.